We're going on a bit of an adventure today. I am in desperate need of a planer. I have been on the search for weeks now for a 20-inch helical head planer, and I've been ghosted twice now on Facebook Marketplace by people who are selling them. I, try to set up making sure that I have what I need to pick it up, whether they have a forklift or a loading dock or if I need a trailer, whatever it might be, multiple times now. They have stopped responding. I don't know if they just don't want to sell to me or what the issue is, but it's extremely frustrating. So I am gonna go take a ride to the other side of town to a store called Saw Sales. It's not a store I regularly frequent, but they should have what I need. As much as I was trying to save some money and not buy a used unit or not have to order a brand new one, I've wasted a bunch of time. I thought I could save money and time by buying a used one, but that seems like the universe does not want me to have a used machine. So I'm gonna go bite the bullet and see if they'll sell me a floor unit. Hopefully they'll be able to just put it on a forklift, put it in my truck, and I can just drive back to the shop and be done with this, because I really just want to get to the point of being able to work. A 20-inch planer is the last piece of equipment that's really holding me back from being able to do the kind of work that I need to. I've got all of this space and all of these tools, but I need to be able to surface and thickness material.
Toward the flights of men, despite the fact that for most of human history they had.
Hi. I couldn't be in the neighborhood without stopping to see this guy. And
Hey!
I mentioned that I needed a router table, and
I have one he broke 6 years ago. He can take it with him.
he's gonna
I
give
don't know
me
who broke
my
it. We broke
broken
it,
trash. I don't even remember why we broke it, but I'll take it. Can I have the K-truck?
You're gonna have to pay for that.
I'll give you $300.
It's gonna be a little more than that. I think there's a lot of sentimental value.
I'm trying to take this thing apart, and I can't find the socket I need. And I don't know if this is a sick prank, but there's literally two 12 millimeters, an 11 millimeter, and a 9 mil. I need a 10 millimeter. There's not any in this shop. Called? What's that?
Is that what they're called, the DJI Reds?
Well, that's two different. Well, maybe there's a collaboration one, but there's
Am
two.
I saying a drone name and then a camera name?
Well, DJI makes cameras and drones, and Red also makes cameras.
I'm thinking of the camera.
I have finally acquired the last couple of things that I need to make this a fully functioning wood shop. I was thinking back this morning on my drive in on where we're at and kind of where we came from in this journey. I've worked in a bunch of different shops and had the opportunity to be around a lot of really great tools. But if we go back to the beginning of this channel, we look back at me building out the one car garage shop and buying this SawStop table saw, which was the first big tool purchase I had ever made, and really changed my ability to make things. Having the right tools is just so integral to being able to make high quality work. So while this shop came with a panel saw and an edge bander and power and dust collection and a bunch of the things that I did need, there were still two major things that I was missing. I need myself a high quality joiner and a high quality planer. So I think I had mentioned before that I was trying to work out a deal to buy an entire shop's worth of tools that would have included a planer and a joiner. But unfortunately, that deal just didn't work out. The numbers just didn't make sense, and I was gonna end up buying a lot of things and spending a lot of money on stuff that, while it would be nice to have, I was sort of losing focus on what it is I really needed. I decided I needed to dial it back and just buy the 2 or 3 things that were really integral to getting us off the ground so we can get to work. So the first step in breaking down any material to get a smooth surface on one side, you need a jointer. Originally, I was thinking about buying an 8-inch joiner, which is a good kind of standard size for a bigger shop to be able to process material. I decided to check out what I could find used on Facebook Marketplace, and I came across this Cantech 12-inch helical head joiner. This is a more industrial tool. I don't know a lot about the brand Cantech, but the edge bander that we have is also from them. And after doing a little bit of research, it seems like they're kind of a more affordable option for industrial sized tools. I was able to find this for a really good deal, and it made sense to just go ahead and buy a big one. Now it'll never get in the way of me being able to do anything. Having a bigger tool, I can do smaller wood on it, but when you have a small tool, you can't do bigger stuff with it. So it just made sense. I was able to pick this up for less than I was going to be able to get a brand new 8-inch joiner, and I think that it was the best option. One of the main things that I wanted to make sure I got was a helical head with carbide inserts. I'm a big fan of these tools for a lot of reasons. One being they're significantly quieter. Hearing is a thing that you can damage very easily and will not come back. Every time that you listen to something loud, even like being in a loud bar, it's doing damage to your hearing that is permanent, and it just death by 1,000 cuts. Every time you do that, eventually your hearing goes bad. Now, don't get me wrong, this tool is still loud and hearing protection is still required, but everything you can do to help in that department is a good thing. Also, the fact that if I were to run a nail through this or a piece of metal or something, if something is to damage one of these blades, I'm able to just take the one out and replace it. Or I'm not sure if I can turn these ones around, but some of them are 4-sided. Like in the planer that I bought, you can actually turn them, so you get a lot of life out of the carbides. And arguably more important than how wide the tool is how long the beds are when it comes to a joiner. In order to be able to run big material through this, having longer wings on the infeed and outfeed are important for keeping the piece stable. The fence on this is also nice and tall, and everything is just really heavy duty. Being a more industrial sized tool, this thing should probably live forever. Somebody will probably buy this from me when I'm dead. So that brings us to this tool. This is a brand new Jet 20-inch helical head planer. I tried twice to buy a used planer off of Facebook Marketplace, and both times I got ghosted and the people stopped responding. Unfortunately, I was trying to save time and money by buying a used one, because typically you have to order a brand new machine. It's hard to find one in store that doesn't take a week or two to get here. I wasted more than that amount of time trying to buy one used, and then it ended up costing me more money because I had to buy a new one. While the $1,000 or so I could have saved by buying a used one would have been nice, I don't think I regret buying a brand new one of these, because again, these tools will last a lifetime, and this will be a one and done purchase. I will never need to replace this. The other thing that I thought was interesting is this has the Jet, I forget what they call it. It's a black anodizing coating or it's some sort of a, what is it? Let me see what they call it. Infeed and outfeed and the table itself have this, I don't know if it's Teflon, I don't know if it's anodizing, what it is, but it's this black glide coat of some sort. They call it something different on Jet versus Powermatic, so I don't know exactly what it's called. But the interesting thing is they claim that you don't have to worry about surface rust on your tools, which is a big concern, especially in a big warehouse like this. Rust is a never-ending battle. So I'll be curious to see how this lasts long term. The guy at the store told me that it's been around for 5 or 10 years now, but this is the first I'm kind of hearing about it in the last year. I guess it's becoming more popular. So I'm not sure if anyone's really beat one up enough to know if the coating's gonna hold up. I would think that eventually there's gonna be a shiny silver strip down the center where the biggest wear pattern goes. But for now, it's a little bit of peace of mind, and the fact that it's brand new, you get a warranty or whatever from the factory. There's a lot of good reasons to buy a tool new. I started to work on this off camera, but I created this column, like a utility pole basically, that's gonna have power and the dust collection tube coming through it. I didn't want them to just be dangling down in the middle of the room. The one over by my table saw does just hang down, but it's kind of more protected in an area that's less in the middle of the room. And with 3 or 4 different electrical lines coming down too, I wanted to make sure that they were nice and secured and not just dangling loose. So I took some 2x4s and screwed together this 16-inch column, and that was enough room to be able to put the dust collection tube through it, as well as strap some electrical cables on the inside. I'm not going to get into the details of how electrical works. If you don't know what you're doing, consult someone that does. I'm having my friend who's a union electrician make sure that this is all done correctly. I got the joiner connected when I built the column, so this thing is powered up and has dust collection run to it, but now we need to get the planer, which is going to go on this side of it, put into position and the cable run for that. And with the power of movie magic, we have a plug. I wasn't gonna go into all the details on how to do that. Like I said, if you don't know, don't do it. Make friends with an electrician, it'll change your life. It's also a good skill to have, so I recommend that you take the time to learn it. That being said, I now have a planer, I have a plug. There's a plug end on the end of this thing, which I mean, I guess I get it, but like, so much money for this machine. And then I have to put a plug end on it. Anyway, it actually works out great that the cord is on the side that I want this thing to be. So I'm gonna wrestle this thing off the pallet and get it into its new home, which is going to be right about here. Then we gotta do a little bit of setup and go through it. The guy at the store recommended that I check how tight all of the carbide inserts are. There's like 70 of them in this thing. He said they are made in a factory in Taiwan, and it's worth double checking. I hope the hardware is like in it, or maybe it's in one of those bags. 'If I have to drive all the way back up there, I'm gonna be so pissed. Oh no, thank God. Oh, I was gonna be so pissed. It's actually not too bad. I don't necessarily want to mash this thing though, but I guess I don't really have a choice. It's deadliftable, I guess. I feel bad sliding it, but I guess guess that's what it's, only because it's a brand new machine. I feel a little bad scratching her up, but I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Oh, that felt great in my spine. And if you're curious, these rods that I'm using are actually made to move and lift the machine. You can slide them out and get forks on it, and then they slide in. So you're not supposed to or it'd be bad to hang on the wings of it, because it's you want that to be nice and precise, and you don't want to bend them. That doesn't work either. What a pain in the ass this is. Okay, we're close. So this is the inside of the cutter head. It has a full set of blades in it. I'm going to mark the first one with Sharpie so that I know where I started, and I'm going to go through, make sure the machine's unplugged when you're doing this, and I'm going to go through and just give each one of these a little twist. Most of them feel tight, but every once in a while I get one that you can get a little click more. I'm a chronic over tightener, but I'm trying really hard to not do anything crazy, because if you break one of these bolts, I'm sure it's a long day. I think that was 4 rows, if I counted that correctly. Now, this shroud goes back on. It's interesting how it has. They probably all do, and I just never noticed, but there's a little locking screw thing for that. One last double check that there's not anything, any packing material or anything in it, and I checked all the blades. I think we can push the button. All right, moment of truth. Will it blow up? I hope not. This is expensive. Woo! Sounds like a jet planer. John had a very similar one for a long time that I put a lot of miles on. I want to stick something through it now. There's no dust collector set up to it yet, so this is gonna make a mess, but I want to try it. The other thing that I acquired was a router table. I do have the shaper, but the router table is also an important part of the shop. I was gonna go buy one, but after I went and picked up the planer, I stopped by John's shop because the store I went to is really close to there. I just kind of happened to mention that like this was the last couple things I needed. And John goes, "Remember that one that you broke?" And I said, "It sounds like me, but I don't remember." And he goes, "Well, it's sitting in the corner back there covered in rust and dirt and death." And he said, "Take it home." So I'm gonna do a little bit of TLC and put it back together. It had a power lift thing. I don't know if that still works, but I figure worst case I can just go buy a new lift component for it if that's what's broken. Honestly, I don't remember. I just know that we replaced this at some point. So kind of fun that it's back in my life, I guess. Very crusty and dusty though, so we're gonna spend a little bit of time, a little bit of elbow grease, getting the rust and glue and shit off of it. There's an aluminum T-track in it. I think I'm gonna pull that out, and then it'll be a lot easier to get shined up. That was loud. Oh, what the f? Foot unit, power unit. is terrifying. After a bit of monkeying with this thing, I honestly think it's okay. The lift mechanism is really slow, and somewhere I saw there was like a fast and slow setting, so there's either a switch that I need to figure out that I'm missing, or maybe it's just a little bit broken, but it does go up and down just very slow, and it kind of sounds upset. So I'm not worried about the lift part right now. The router itself was having this sort of like intermittent kind of thing going on where it didn't seem like it was holding its speed. And this thing has definitely been sitting for a long time and was used and abused at John's shop. So I took the compressed air and I blew it out, and that seems to have fixed it. Also flipping it over, like a bunch of dirt came out of it. So I'm wondering if the thing was just not breathing very well and that was causing the problem. So for now, I'm gonna chalk it up as a win. This thing's a working router table. I think this and the hinge mortiser need to get moved. Maybe they could go back to back and kind of share an island type thing. Maybe honestly right even in here. As much as I don't want to do another power drop situation, the shop being the shape and widths that it is, doing islands in the middle is probably the right way to go about it. But I'm gonna think on it some more. That's gonna be a wrap on this one. We finally have the ability to joint and plane material. I'm very excited to have a shop that can actually process some lumber now. Thank you guys for following along. I really appreciate the continued support as we're building out the shop here. In the next video, I'm gonna start to try to learn how to do spray finish, so that should be a fun little follow me along while I figure that out. Lots of stuff to set up and clean and buy, and there's a lot to learn when it comes to spray finish, so I'll bring you guys along on that one. So I hope that you will subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.